Welcome back to Park Winners. It's really exciting to have Michael Glassman here today. And I always say that all the projects that I've done are better because of other people's ideas and suggestions. And several months ago, Michael did a YouTube video where he walked into the pool area and he pointed over here to these pine trees that I was bonsaiing. And he said, I would get rid of those pine trees. They look tired and sappy. And I would replace them with Flamethrower red buds. And I had never seen Flamethrower red bud, and I looked them up right away. And then 3 days later, after I saw that video, I asked one of the guys to get a chainsaw. We dropped the pine trees, and I did exactly what Michael said. And because you're here today, thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. I love being here.
Yeah, and so I want to understand more why you like the red buds.
Okay. I have to say, this is a pleasure. I love it. I've been to Park Winners before. I don't know if you knew. My wife and I had an anniversary dinner here. It was fabulous. It was just fabulous. The space itself is just wonderful. I mean, look around. I mean, who wouldn't love this? And when I had walked into the pool area, my first reaction was, wow, but this could even be more incredible. And that was what I was noticing, was that the pines were struggling. And rather than kind of continuing to keep them alive, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to pick up the Flamethrower redbud? And one of the reasons I thought of those were, I love your umbrellas, especially the understory with the coral color. So I thought, wouldn't it be great to play on your cushions? Again, you've got the coral color that comes through. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to pick up that coral color in the planting? So the Flamethrower, what's so neat about them is a lot of people look at this and say, oh, it's fall. No, this is what they look like in the spring and the summer. They come out kind of a coral color to a red color to a yellow, and they're just amazing plants. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice, because you've got the backdrop of the honeysuckle, to have some color in here? So with that said, and I'm thrilled that you did that, but I'm going to give you some other suggestions.
I was just so excited to have you come out here and see this, because when you said it, you empowered me to do something that I was looking at but ignoring because I had other projects on hand. And so thank you for
doing it. And the thing that I love about it is you did it. It looks wonderful and you love it. And I think anyone seeing it will love it. And so when we did the old video, there were some suggestions that I made, and you started with the red buds, the Flamethrowers. I'm going to piggyback and
I want to hear more of what you're feeling.
So let's come over here. So one of the first things that I noticed, by the way, I love your doors.
Oh,
the doors are amazing. They're incredible. They're a wow statement. So you open up the doors, and they're left open, and you come in here. And one of the things that I like is when I look to the right, again, the Flamethrowers immediately infuse color. And you can see how that's picking up the color of the understory of the umbrellas. But the thing that, to me, and we talked about that a little earlier, I would love to see, as you walk through this, a focal point. And you had said you love that idea.
You're absolutely right. But before we look at that focal point, I want to point out to you something that I did that was better because of somebody else's idea. So when I originally designed this door, I designed it to be solid and that the moldings would be like this. And this is a replica of the interior of the main house. But the gentleman who built it, he suggested that we put these wire silhouettes that mimic this, but it doesn't.
Leave it open.
Yeah, and then actually so that when it's windy, the wind will blow through it. And so again, all the things I've done are better because of other people's ideas.
And what I tell people, and we were talking about that earlier, is it's an organic process. You come up with an idea. If you think of something that is going to be better like that, that's brilliant. Not only do you get to see a little glimpse of what's in here, but it also lets the airflow. You play on it. Nothing is, as I always tell people, nothing's set in stone unless it's set in stone.
Yes.
So the first thing, we were talking about, as you walk in here, you need a focal point. And you and I were talking about that a little earlier, and you said you want to do a cabana, which I think is a brilliant idea, because you walk through and you want to see a place where people can congregate, something that's incredible.
Do you see it like straight ahead like that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Perfect.
And what my next thing is, before we get back to that, is I have to be real honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the pots.
Okay.
And the reason I'm not a big fan of is, number one, they just looked like they were dumped on the concrete. What I would love to see you do is, whether you keep the same pots, or I'd love to see you take it off the concrete, take this section here, do a quarter circle here, and either one, do a Corten steel, rusted steel planter. You don't need a bottom of it. And then one on the other side, or just, if you did keep these pots, take this area out. And then these are interesting, but that's about all I can say. There is nothing, for me, this is just for me, they're okay, but to me, they don't have any color. They've got some interesting form. I wouldn't get rid of them. I would put them somewhere else. I'd like something, again, really, really unusual.
Create a planter here. What do you think about if we actually planted them in the ground?
I would rather, yeah, you could do that. What I'm thinking is something a little bit more showy. So one option would be, you know, and it's one of my favorites. It's a serpentine cedar.
Serpentine cedar.
Yeah, they kind of hang over and they're evergreen, and they would look one here and one there. That would be one option. Another would be a weeping redbud, Ruby Falls, that hangs down. Because what I'd like to do is, I'd like to have something either in a pot or in the ground here, one over there, and then I want to surround the whole area with a coral colored, so there's a coral colored carpet rose. That would be beautiful. Or if you said, you know what, I wouldn't mind taking these two areas and keep them in annual color. So then you find some annuals that, again, has the coral and the red and everything. But I think that this, as you stand here, you need to anchor these two spots, because it's like they're calling for something gorgeous. And if you said, can we put these in? The answer is yes, you could. I just find that they're a little bit, I mean, I'd rather have them in another location. I don't know. They don't do it for me. I want something a little bit more colorful, a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more interesting. That's why I'm saying, though, the weeping redbud or the serpentine cedars, or even a bonsai, a poodle bonsai, something really structured that's really cool with a lot of color. You know, even if you said, could we do a boxwood hedge and then keep this with the coral color? The answer is absolutely, because I want those to be always colorful. So when you walk in, you go, oh, that's gorgeous. And
well,
then,
you know, you're gotten into my head, so it'll see how fast
right.
I act on it.
Right.
Because...
And as I said, I'm not, you know, if you said, I'm going to use these, fine. I just want something, a different texture, a different color, a little bit different, but I definitely want color in these two spots. Then if you do the cabana there, again, I would see, now this is where I would say you could, if you said, I really love these, I want to use them somewhere, then you pick two of the best ones and you put those on either side of the cabana with the same color. So again, you get some interest. For me, the thing that would be really fun to do would be, and again, it's my sensibility, I find I love your planting. I love the simplicity of the pool. The concrete's great. But then I've got this pot, which doesn't sing to me. And then we have a blue pot with a face on it. And then there's a lot of different things. For me, I would rather have the same pot and then pick up, for example, instead of this being on the concrete, take a half circle out there, put it in the ground, or put the pot here, put color around it. So you'd have one there, one over there, so that you space these out so that they don't look like they just got dumped on the concrete. Because my biggest complaint is someone's got to water them.
Yes.
Number two is that when they drain, you get all the dirty water on the concrete, and I don't want to see the dirty water there. I just like the cleaner concrete. If you put them in the ground, whether they're in a pot or not, you can pull off the irrigation from there and run drip to it, or you plant it directly in the ground, and the same thing with color. So I just think that I love the furniture. I love the umbrellas. I just want more color, more interest around here. And I find that the pots, to me, take away from the space rather than enhancing it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now that you mention it, I'm going to be staring at them.
Right. And for me, it's also maintenance. It's like you have to have someone come and water every one of these and then they dribble out. Whereas if it's part of the irrigation system, they water automatically. You don't have to worry about that. And then, as I said, when you come through here and you see your pavilion, I mean, in a perfect world for me, your pavilion could be something very similar to the house, same kind of architecture, or you could break it and do something kind of rusted steel and there. I probably would keep, because of your door, more of the architecture of the house.
So let me tell you an idea. I have 3D drawings of a pool house, and the pool house will look like something that was built in the Victorian area.
Perfect.
And it would be there with a scalloped
It's over
siding.
there?
Yeah. And when you walk in on the left, and then it sunk in, there's like a bar, and then restrooms on each side.
Yeah.
And then there still would be a cabana there. So that's more like functional restrooms. And
I'd rather, this is up to you, I'd rather do one structure and put it back there so that when you walk in again, what I like about, this is just me, but when I stand here, I like the idea that when I look across, the pool's beautiful. This is going to be pulled away. I want the structure there to look Victorian. I love the openness, in my opinion. I love the openness, seeing the spa there, the grass in here. I don't want another building here, because one of the things that you are so lucky about is you have this open space. You've got the fields behind you. You've got the trees behind you. I don't want to clog that up. So often, there's so many buildings. And when people come out here, I think one of the things that the people that stay here love is the openness. So if you put a building there, you're going to be losing all that. Having a building there doesn't matter, because you already have trees back there.
And it'll be more dramatic.
Yes, yes. That's where you should put your money. Leave this completely open so that you can see it. I love the laurels in the back here. I love the big expanse of lawn here. To me, it feels like a resort. And to me, I wouldn't even mind, since you've got the one palm tree, you could do a triple. You could leave this, put one right back here, and do one. So you have a series of 3.
Yes.
So that it doesn't just look like it's lost, and then leave this open, put your building back there, which I think is perfect. And then, as I said, pull the pots or put the plant. I like the idea of the pots, but pull either those are going to be the pots that you use, or those, but one style of pot. For me, this is me.
Yeah.
Because of the house, it's a Victorian, because of the door, because of the building. I actually think the pots that you should use should be urns, big estate urns. Haddon Stone sells these cast limestone. They're gorgeous, but I would go more estate urn type, because the theme in here.
Have you seen the giant urns at the entrance to Pottery World?
Yes, love those. Love
Is that
those.
what you're referring
Yes,
to?
yes.
I dream about them.
Yes.
So we're on the same page.
Yes, that's
because they're giant and they're exaggerated.
Yes, that would fit here, because again, they're big, they're established, they kind of have the Victorian look, and it goes with the vibe here.
And they're taller than us.
Yes, and the thing that is so neat is, even if you decided, okay, I like your idea, I'm going to put a total of 4. One there, one there, one there, one there. I'm going to take the planting around there, and in those urns, I'm going to go ahead and do either the serpentine cedars and the red buds, whatever.
See, like, now that you mention it, now I can't even look at it, because I just want to like move them away. You know
well,
what I mean?
I honestly think somewhere on the property there are places you can put this that would be great. But here's the thing: the inn is Victorian. I love the landscaping with the sunken garden. The door is, I mean, it's delicious. That's all I could say. You walk through here and you go, oh my God, you want this to emulate the feel that you have here. And again, I'm sure that lots of couples that want to get married would want to take pictures out here. And as I said, for me, I want this whole feel.
Yeah, it does feel tight.
Yes, yes. Yes, and the pool is beautiful. I mean, the birds are having a great time. It's the simplicity of it. It's the Victorian feel. It's the simple, and that's why I said I love the pop of the coral. The coral is really, really cool. So I want to play on that rather than mixing a bunch of things. What I love about the flower farm is it's perfect because you have recycled, you have Corten steel, you have all of those things that again pull that together. But this is a whole different look.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I would keep it a little bit simpler.
Thank you. Yeah, so some of the vibe is because I grew up in Miami.
Right.
And so my favorite part of Miami Beach was the shore. And so we created a beach entrance.
Love it.
When we came here. So the pool was one of the first things that we put in just to sort of have an anchor for families to do. And so I really appreciate you liking it.
I love the pool.
Yeah.
I love, and as I said, the concrete looks great. I mean, when the umbrellas with a little breeze, you get to see that little pop. If they were completely covered, it would be too much, but that little pop of color, that's what I was going to say. I don't want to do, when I was asking you about the crepe myrtles, those are going to be pink, which is going to be perfect. Little pops of color in the distance are great. The pops of orange and yellow, again, picks up the cushions that you have and picks up the umbrellas. So we don't have to hit someone over the head to get the feel. But again, there's an old saying for me, and lots of people don't agree with it, but I think less is more. The less you do, the more effective it is. That alone is so amazingly dramatic that you almost can't surpass it. That's why I said the building that you need to do, your cabana, instead of just a cabana, that needs to have the same feel as your Victorian, because this is the pool for the Victorian hotel bed and breakfast. And the simplicity. That's why I'm glad you mentioned that, because I don't want anything here. I want the simplicity of looking out and seeing the fields in the background and the trees in the background. Oh my God, how glorious is that, rather than having another building over there.
Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I want to point out one more thing to
Sure.
you. So aside from getting the flamethrower red buds and putting them by the pool, I ended up getting 2 more, and I want to show you where they are. There's one right here.
Which, oh my God, I love that.
There's one right here.
Yeah.
And there's one way over there. And,
I love that.
Yeah, and so what I've noticed, that what it does is it just draws your eye way over there.
Yep.
And like I said, it's given us fall in the spring.
Yep.
So thank you, Michael.
Oh,
I just really appreciate you.
You're welcome. As I said, I love your place. To be able to give you some of my advice, take it or leave it, as I always tell people, but it's just, I love what you've done, and it's a treat just coming here. And anyone coming here, I think, even if you just spent the day having something to eat, walking around, it's a treasure. I mean, with everything going on, the hubbub and the technology and the this and the that, to be able to wander through and see just natural beauty, gorgeous trees, amazing sights or anything, I mean, it's a jewel. It's a jewel. What you and John have created is a jewel.
Thank you so much, Michael, for taking the time to come over today and seeing this, because you've given me so much inspiration. And now I have, thank God, we have a video that I can replay, so I can recount all those plants that you were mentioning.
And spend more of your money.
So next time you come, you will see more of your ideas and inspiration that you gave me. So thank you, and thank you for all the beautiful work that you do for all the people in this Sacramento region.
It's my pleasure.
You're a legend, and so it's wonderful to spend time with someone who I admire so much. So just thanks for coming back and doing this today. So I want to thank everyone for watching today. I hope that you're doing something fun today in the garden or being creative.